Hello, and welcome to this video that will cover the basics of automations in Confluence. Here, we're going to learn a little bit about what automations are, what they can do, and how you can go build them. Please note that you will need Confluence Cloud Premium or higher in order to do this. Let's jump in. Automations are just something the system can do on our behalf. This could be as simple as adding a label to a page when it's created, or as complex as making additional pages, reassigning them, adding information to them, or moving them around. Now, one of the hardest things about automations is just finding something to automate. It can seem daunting because we don't know everything the system can do. So, I like to think of things that I find myself doing on a repeated basis. Do I always find myself archiving pages at the end of the month? Do I always find myself restricting certain kinds of pages? Or do I always find myself reassigning them in certain ways? As I start to identify these, I start to write them down, and this gives me a good idea for what I should go automate. Again, be on the lookout for anything you do on a regular basis that seems like it's the same exact set of things, because that is where automations shine. If you can write down a list of steps and have anyone follow them, an automation is a great way to handle that. So this won't necessarily work for something like writing new content or making complex decisions. But if you can identify tasks that are repeatable and that anyone could do if you gave them a set of 1, 2, 3 steps, that is probably something you can automate. Automations live in a space, and I can get to them by clicking the automation button up here. And what you'll see immediately is a whole bunch of different automations that come as a template. I will always encourage you to open these up and see what they do. They are a great source of information. I will always encourage you to open them up and just see what they do. They are a great source of inspiration. For example, I might open up this one to see how it figures out to change a page owner, or to see how it figures out a schedule. This then helps me make an automation in the future. So definitely take a look at these, and also pay attention to this AI-powered box at the top. I find this very useful for quickly starting an automation. You can type in a natural language request and have it make the automation. For example, I can automatically change the owner of a page to a certain person. And here, I don't have to know much about an automation, it has just created it for me. So this can both help speed me up by making the automation, but also help me learn how they work by showing me the steps. So let's make an automation from scratch so we can understand all the different pieces. All I'm going to do is click Create Rule, and the first thing I need is a trigger. Triggers are what tell the automation to run. For example, I might have a trigger that means every time a whiteboard is created, I need to do something. Or maybe I want to schedule it, so every Monday at a certain time it just happens. Or maybe when a page is created. There are a large number of triggers. We won't go through all of them, but I will encourage you to take a look at these and just see what exists, because each of these can help you make better automations and improve your work. In this example, we're going to go every time a page is published. And it's added right here. And next, I'll have to add components. These are the things that I need the automation to do, and I have 3 options. I can have an action, so when the page is published, then do something. I can have a condition, so when a page is published, check to see who published it, or something else. And I can have a branch, which allows me to make more complex automations. In this example, I'm going to open up the conditions, and we have a number of options here, things like smart values or CQL. In this example, though, we're just going to follow the page condition. And this is something about the page, in this case, where the title means something. So I might frequently make a page that has the word meeting notes in it, and I'll change it to title contains. So this means anytime I publish a page with the title having the word meeting notes, do something. Now I could add more criteria, maybe if it's created with a certain label or a view count, but we'll keep this example simple. I'll click Next. And then I can add another condition if I need to. So if it has meeting notes, then I want it to do something. So it won't happen to every page, only the ones with meeting notes. And here, I'm going to pick something I want it to do. Maybe I want it to just automatically add a label. And I want it to add the meeting notes label, because I always forget to do this, and it takes time for me to manually go do it, so I'll just click Next. And there is my rule. I have my trigger when the page is created. I have a condition if the page has certain words in the title, and have an action. What should it do? Now, as I mentioned, there are many, many, many actions, so please take time to look through. There's even a search bar at the top. But these will give you inspiration and ideas on what you can automate. Next, I'll just turn on the rule, and I'll give it a name. applying the label to meeting notes, and I'll turn it on. I can see that it's turned on, and if I need to, I can disable it by clicking this rocker. Now I'm going to test this new automation by just creating a page. Now in this case, page publishing was the trigger, so I'll make my page. I would add whatever content I need to, and then just click publish. Now in the background, Confluence is going to realize a page was published, so it's going to pull up that rule and see if it should run. So I'll refresh the page, and here I can see that meeting notes label was added. I can also open up the automation menu again and take a look at the audit log. This will keep a record of everything that's happened to my automations. For example, here I made a configuration change, here it didn't run, but here it did run. I could click show more to see what happened. It said a page was created, and it added the label. Now if I need to, I can go back into this rule and change it, or I could even turn it off if I need to, or delete it. So there is a very high level on automations. They are a great way to get rid of the mundane tasks we need to do to manage our spaces. Personally, I find the hardest part is just identifying something I want to automate. So again, keep a list of those things you find yourself doing on a regular basis, and then start to ask yourself, could I automate this? Open up automations and see if you can build it out. And again, that AI helper is very helpful. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Please like it and subscribe if you did. And please drop your questions or comments about automations down below. I'll be happy to help you out or see if I can help you build one. Thank you so much again for learning with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you here again soon.